Okay. So I am going to tell you something. It's a little story. Um, a friend of mine who recently passed, Faye Bonnell, she's a local lady here. I told her this story once in Green Star. We would chat sometimes. Green Star is our local co-op, and she was like, you should get on your channels and like tell people that story. So I'm gonna do it. She probably told me that like 3 years ago, but I'm gonna do it now. And this, I want to preface it by saying like, um, actually maybe I'll tell you the story first, and then I'll tell you what I'm thinking about it. So I got Lyme's disease. Maybe I was probably like 5 years ago now, maybe a little more, and I treated it with antibiotics, and of course it kept doing its thing, and I did all the antibiotics I could, and then I also went to Green Star, the co-op, and I just like asked the herbalist there, and they're so knowledgeable. They basically just set me up with this like regime, um, and I'm a Aries South Node, if anyone knows what that means, like astrology. Um, and so I'm good at like that kind of discipline. And so I took the all the stuff that the herbalist at Green Star had told me to take. But it's still, that Lyme's disease, I would say I was really like kind of in it for about 6 months. I got it in September, I think, and it was really not until the next, I don't know, like May or so that it was really, had my energy back. And one of the things, like the specific thing I want to tell you about, is that this was in one of those periods where I was meditating like an awful lot. And basically, I would, that whole winter, like so when it was cold out, I lived in a house with a wood stove. I would actually sit in the same chair. I'm sitting in the chair now that I sat in then, and that I meditated in. And I would sit in front of the wood stove, like get the kids breakfast on the bus, and I would just like load up the wood stove, sit in front of it, and meditate basically, because I had so little energy that it was sort of like some of the idioties in me were gone, and I could just sit. And at that point, I was doing, and I guess I still do quite a bit of like, kind of like shamanic inner journeying with different techniques, And I decided to make contact with I think they're called spirit cleats. I might be wrong on that. The little buddies, I call them, the little Lyme's disease thingies. It's really butchering that, but I think you know what I mean. The actual like bacteria, I think they are. I could be wrong with that. Um, and so I decided to make contact with them, and I don't remember the exact like day, but I just went in, and I just asked like, oh, can I talk to you, or can you show me what you're like? And right away, I just saw all through my body these little tiny, like glowing fluorescent green, almost like rice size little kind of vibrating particles. And they were, if you've ever read James and the Giant Peach, that's what they looked like. Was like, I hope there's enough light here. That's what they look like. They look like the little rice things that like make the peach get really big and make the insects that are on the peach get really big in James and the Giant Peach. If you remember that description of the little things in the bag that got out, that's what they looked like inside of me. And again, I don't remember the exact progression, but they were like, I could tell right away that they were friendly. They weren't, I had no issue with them at all. And, it was also a period of my life when I was pretty lonely. And what I found as I sat with them was they were like my buddies. I was like filled with all my little buddies, and they just wanted to hang out with me. They just wanted to be with me, like almost like a cat, or a dog, and like a real sweet cat or dog that just wants to like be. It's like, oh, I just want to be with you. And it, I didn't have to like imagine it or create that feeling. It was just like, I could feel it. Like they just really wanted to be with me, like my little buddies. And so I would sit there and feel so like I what's it's not like I had company. It was like um I just didn't feel alone, you know? And I kept doing all the herbal stuff. Like I didn't stop that. But I had this real, like later getting some more spiritual kind of wording for it. I realized it was like I I didn't like I had no problem with them, right? I had no animosity. I had no I mean, it was almost like I didn't want them to leave because I really was in that period of my life kind of lonely, and I could feel their friendly like with me ness so palpably, and there they were right with me. So I mean, I realize this might sound a bit demented, right? I realize that, um, and maybe it is, but it worked. Like that Lyme's, it was gone, and I never had a recurrence. I've never had, um, and I've never been bit again. Not with a, I've had them latch on, but I've never had a tick like, in bed. And I get the feeling I could be wrong with this, but I get the feeling like I learned that one, and I don't need the gift or the lesson of Lyme's. And I'm totally ready to be, for the universe to be like, like crash me down on that one. But I can honestly report that I would, um, like, if I got Lyme's again, I would sort of feel like, oh, hey guys, hey. Um, so the part that I wanted to say at the beginning that I decided to wait is that I don't mean this story like against anyone, right? And I don't, because I know that it can be so hard for people, right? And so I don't want to like mitigate that or be like, oh, I'm better because it went like this for me. Um, but I think it's like it's a a story worth sharing. And after that, I remember just seeing that like, like F cancer. And I just thought, it's just not going to work. Like that doesn't work. Um, I have not had cancer, so I can't speak, directly on it. But my sense is that that isn't the, um, like it's really the opposite energy of like, oh, here it is. I mean, it's right here with me, right? Here's this thing's right here with me. Okay. Thanks for listening.